Can our conferencing people hear us, see us yet? Or? Okay. Can our yeah, we're good to go? We'll let the record show that it is 3:03, and I'll call to order the special call meeting of the Durant Community Facilities Authority of October the 6th, 2020. Ask the secretary to call the roll, please.
Trustee Baxter.
Heath is going to try to be here too, isn't he? Okay.
Yeah, he said he would. And Trustee Dillard.
Here.
Trustee Dosnell.
Here.
Trustee Grover.
Here.
Trustee Morris.
Here.
Trustee Pierce.
Here.
Trustee Tuttle.
Here.
Vice Chairman Webb.
Here. Chairman
Tomlinson.
Here. For the record, we do have a quorum. As all can see, we have Trustee Dillard, I believe Gosnell, Grover, Pierce, and Tuttle appearing by video conferencing. Trustee Morris, Trustee Webb, and myself are present at the meeting site. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, guys and gals, for being in attendance. Appreciate it. Our first order of business regarding the Ron Cross Senior Activity Center remodel of on 1421 Chuckwell Drive here in Durant. Most of you were present, I think. John, what month did we meet on that? Anyway, a few months ago when we approved expenses from the Dcfa regarding the senior center, senior activity center. And we're here today to conduct business regarding 1A is consideration to reject or accept construction bid number 2020-659B as in Bravo in the amount of $607,000 determined by the sealed bid opening on Wednesday, September the 30th, 2020 for the remodel improvements at the Ron Cross Senior Activity Center, 14, and that's project number 659. And we have Miss Becca Collins before us to present this information.
Hi, good afternoon. As you mentioned, when we met some months ago, I don't know, that seemed like, I don't know, April, May, when you determined that you were going to commit the $750,000 for this project. And the bid that we did receive is under that budget, which is awesome. And it is the Cavens Construction Company out of Norman, which they have done some work for the city before on the swimming pool. And if you have any questions specifically relating to the bid and what it includes, Shane is here, the architect. So I know he pulled out the equipment out of the bid for things such as the table and chairs and office type furniture, which will be bid separately. But this bid does include all of the kitchen appliances, outdoor freezer. And so if you'd like to ask him some things on that.
Yes, and Shane, if you wouldn't mind. And Cindy, the members appearing, trustees appearing by video have all this info available, right? Okay, all right. For those of you on the video conferencing, probably some of the information is going to be shared by Becca and Shane and John is available on that agenda items emailed by Cindy. I think the first thing I'd want to point out, and Becca referred to it just briefly before you start, Shane, is we're looking at $607,847 in actual bids today. As Becca mentioned, that does not include some furniture, furnishings, and Shane, you can go over that. But I want to remind myself and the trustees of the authority that we approved, I believe, not in excess of 750 for a total of 750,000 for this. So you'll be coming back with further bids at another time, and we'll meet on that. And also, okay, Shane, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. Yes, you did originally bid a not to exceed, or however you phrase that, of 750,000. That included all of your construction budget and architectural and engineering side of that. So out of that 750, there was $40,000 in there scheduled for the architecture and engineering. So that leaves us with a construction total of 710,000 to put towards the project. Our bids for the project came in at 607,847 total. The only thing that has been left out of that, so to speak, is furniture. We left all of the tables and chairs, fixtures and furnishings out of that bid so that we could go out for those separately, so that we didn't end up with a 20 to 25% markup on tables and chairs from our general contractor. So everything else is in there, your kitchen equipment, electrical, HVAC, plumbing modifications, new ADA bathrooms. Those get gutted down to the stud and redone with new fixtures, furnishings, and locations for ADA accessible fixtures. Complete commercial kitchen. All of the appliances and installation are included in this for your commercial kitchen. And then a general, quote unquote, freshening up, if you will. New ceilings, new LED lighting throughout, new floors, new paint. We've removed some of the smaller classrooms that were in the original church and taken some walls out in between those to create some larger spaces for meetings, exercise, that sort of thing. So you have everything in this 607,000 other than the tables and chairs type furnishings. And we do have, yes, we are repairing cracks and resurfacing or resealing the asphalt sidewalk or parking lot and restriping that parking lot in this as well.
In this
That's
bid?
in this, yes.
Okay.
So, and I would say, just as a word of caution, it is a remodel. So I'm sure there will be some things that get uncovered as they start demolition and that sort of thing. So it's nice to know that there is a little bit of room left there for some of those things that may come up. Any questions?
Any questions from members?
I have a question probably for John, and it's a reflection on me, not anything else. Can you refresh my memory where the money's coming from? I know we voted on it, but I just need a little refresher, please.
Dcfa collects a quarter-cent sales tax, and there was at that time about $1.2 million excess sitting in that fund, and this is 750 of that. Yes, sir.
That, and those funds might also contain or have a reserve for the debt service still in it too, that is the equal of so many payments. I don't remember how many, but we have to maintain that. But and then maybe a little further info too. The authorities bylaws, the indenture, the trust, makes clear that the DCFA can expend funds for the beneficiary, which is the city of Durant, for further enhancements or in whether it's parks or facilities to better the quality of life, in so many words. So the funding was in order, or if we wanted to consider it, we did, and approve that amount from the DCFA funds.
I've got a question just regarding the funding. Sorry, this thing. So there is a source. We're continuing to replenish those funds and continuing to build that reserve on a monthly basis at a decent clip.
Yes, sir. If you take the last 16 to 18 months, we've actually had an excess of about between 30 and 35,000
Okay.
every month in that.
So perfect.
The quarter cent, and I hate to elaborate more, but the quarter cents for debt service are in effect until 2024.
Yes, sir.
Don't remember the time of year, but so approximately 3.5 years, 4 years for collections to continue. It's continuing to pay the debt service. And those, I think we've been blessed that sales tax, we've had a 1% to 2%, probably average 3% increase year over year. Believe it or not, this year it's running,
Double digits.
yeah, running significantly more. And that has developed these,
Reserve.
I don't like to say excess funds, but reserve funds to grow and balance. And so that's where the funding comes from again. But yes, to answer your question, that's in place until 2024. Any questions from the video conferencing folks?
I have a quick question for Shane on the subcontractors, looking over the bid. I was just curious, out of those subcontractors, I don't recognize any of the names. Are any of those from anyone local around Bryan County or Durant?
Are you talking about the plan holders list that I sent you?
I'm on the subcontractors on the bid form that they submitted for
I think it's the plumbing.
services,
Yeah.
where it says the roofing, plumbing is Parish Plumbing, HVAC is Queso Mechanical. I was just curious if any of those subcontractors are from this area.
I do not recognize those names from this area.
Okay.
I actually did get a phone call from Cavens on Friday, and they were reaching out to 2 air conditioning contractors in this area to get bids from them even after the fact. So I do think they're continuing to search here locally to see, instead of having to bring guys from out of town, I would assume they're still kind of searching locally here for some trades as well. Would be my guess as to why I got that.
Well, I'm just thinking, since sales tax is collected in our area in Bryan County, I was just thinking that maybe local subcontractors might want a shot at the work. It's just my thinking to try to keep some of it local. That's why I was asking.
Absolutely.
Good
And then
question.
you have, of course, the travel. If they're all out of Norman, you have their travel, probably lodging, because it wouldn't make sense to go back and forth. Maybe have to pay per diem. And so that's just my question regarding the subcontractors.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We did give them a list of 2 or 3 electrical contractors in this area. This was before the bid. They had called asking for some locals if we knew of any or could recommend any. And of course, we can't recommend them, but I sent them a list
Sure.
in this area. But it doesn't look like those are the numbers they're guaranteed to. So they may still be searching for someone locally, hoping they can gain a few extra dollars there as well.
Good question, Ms. Tuttle. I might, the reference to this construction company did our recent swimming pool remodel about, what, a year and a half ago, Becca? Marty's not here, but
It was 2019.
they, and John, you weren't in that either, but my memory is that they kept us on schedule, and we were able to open that pool with some significant upgrades, improvements, and health code upgrades issues and things like that. I mean, I was pleased to hear that this was that same company because I do recall, I think, pretty good results from them as far as the swimming pool project.
Yes, they did.
Is that your memory?
Yeah, I was on that, I was on that project, and yes, they did.
Okay.
They resurfaced the entire deck area, resurfaced and recoated things like the slide, the pool slide and the diving boards and all that good stuff. And then did a total overhaul on the swimming pool building in terms of the locker
Yeah.
rooms,
Yeah.
restrooms,
Yeah.
lifeguard area, and concession stand. And did the shade canopies and kind of water misting systems out there as well. And yes, they did a good job and came in on track with that one as well. So it is kind of nice to have someone we're familiar with
Yeah.
come back.
Anybody else have any questions for Shane or Becca? Becca, are you going to present some more, right?
I wanted to say
Oh.
something before you made your motion. If I could, please. Thank you. First of all, I want to say how exciting it is. Shane and I were just talking earlier before the meeting that we are here. After 13 years, we are here. And so that's really exciting. And as far as your thought on the local contractors, we would all agree on that. But I know we have another city project that's going on, and it's been difficult to find a local electrician because they're all so busy. You know, we have so much growth going on. So, you know, hopefully this contractor can find some subs here.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I've had a need for an electrician in the last year and a half, and and the plumbers too.
Mhm. That's right.
And it's good to be busy, but
Mhm.
it's also good. We'd be good, not being good stewards if we didn't raise that question and
right.
promote our local contractors too. Go ahead, Nick.
And then on your motion, if you could please include the name of the construction company, because I did not include that in the wording on the item.
How do you say their name again?
Kevin's?
Kevin's, is that right? Okay.
Mhm.
Are we at a point to consider to reject or accept the bid? If there's no further questions, would consider a motion.
I'll move that we accept construction bid number 2020659B on the amount of $607,847 to Kevin's Construction as outlined in section 1 and item A.
I second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, the secretary will record the vote, please.
Trustee Dillard,
Aye.
trustee Gosnell,
Aye.
trustee Grover,
Aye.
trustee Morris,
Aye.
trustee Pierce,
Aye.
trustee Tuttle,
Aye.
vice chairman Webb,
Aye.
chairman Tomlinson.
Aye, motion carries. Takes us to item 1B. That's to consider approval of the construction contract upon legal counsel approval when required bonds and other required documents are received by the contractor. Becca, I'm guessing that we're still doing the paperwork and contracts being drawn
Yes,
up.
and Shane would actually be the one that would receive that information from the contractor. So when he has all of that, then we would send that on to Tom for review. So your motion could be made contingent then upon the legal counsel approval. Would that be right, Shane?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was just going to jump in and say that once they have received the notice of award, they have 10 days from that date to get all of their bonds and insurance documentation into us. And then upon that, we can issue them a contract and reviewed by city attorney. But we can issue them a contract for construction once we have that documentation. But they have 10 days from the notice of award receipt to get that to us.
Will that notice occur like today or
Um,
tomorrow?
It will go out today or tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's,
okay.
it's needing a signature from the city. Yeah. Oh, she's got it here. All right.
Are those required bonds and documents received by the contractor or by us?
They're the contractor sends them to us. Yeah. A lot of times it will actually come directly from their bonding agent to us.
This says we approve it when they are received by the contractor. Is that a typo?
Well, received by him to Shane, right? That's how maybe I didn't clarify that well enough. When the bonds and other required documents are received by Kevin's construction company.
Don't they have to get them
They,
back to?
they will send their, yeah, that does seem to be maybe worded a little bit confusingly, but yeah, they will send their construction bonds and insurance documentation to us. And then we have to have it reviewed here by the city attorney.
So the contractor is the recipient, and then they just send it to us.
Yes, that is correct.
I think on the,
Although there are times when the bonding agency will just send it directly.
Directly,
Yes.
yeah,
That probably should be added to this verbiage because
but
that's.
the
what it
language
says.
usually on those is either the city is named as additional named insured and or the bond refers to the city.
Yes, on your, on their general liability and builder's risk policy, you would be a named additional insured for the project on that.
Mhm.
And yes, you will be on the bond paperwork as well.
So upon consideration of this, it needs to be contingent upon legal city's attorney approval of the documents that,
Right, and that just eliminates us having to have another meeting to approve that contract.
okay. Any questions for Shane or Rebecca before we call for a motion? Hearing none, the floor is open for a motion.
I'd move that we approve the construction contract upon the legal counsel approval.
We have a motion?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion or questions? And I'm sorry. Who made that second? Ms. Dillard?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ms. Dillard. We have a motion, we have a second. Any further questions or discussion? The motion was sufficient, you think? Okay. Any further questions? Hearing none. Secretary will record the vote, please.
Trustee Dillard,
Aye.
trustee Gosnell,
Aye.
trustee Grover,
Aye.
trustee Morris,
Aye.
trustee Pierce.
Aye.
Trustee Tuttle,
Aye.
vice chairman Webb,
Aye.
chairman Tomlinson.
Aye, motion carries. Get this to item 1C. Consider for the chairman to sign the construction contract number 2020-659CC and other related documents upon legal counsel approval.
And that's just kind of the final. So when that contract is approved by legal counsel, then this would give you the authority to sign that contract.
John, does this still go before council? Doesn't, okay. Okay. So we have a agenda consideration for the chairman to sign the construction contract, and there's the numbers and other related documents upon legal counsel approval. Do we have a motion?
I move we approve the chairman to sign construction contract number 2020-659CC and other related documents upon legal counsel approval.
We have a motion?
I make a second.
We have a second. I believe that was Ms. Tuttle.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Questions? Hearing none, the secretary will record the vote, please.
Trustee Dillard,
Aye.
trustee Gosnell,
Aye.
trustee Grover,
Aye.
trustee Morris,
Aye.
trustee Pierce,
Aye.
trustee Tuttle,
Aye.
vice chairman Webb,
Aye.
chairman Tomlinson.
Aye, motion carries. Thank everyone for participating. As Becca said, it's been a 13-year journey. We're much closer to fruition of the dream. Thank you all for participating and consider a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Need a second.
I'll second it, Joey.
Got a second? That's Mr. Gosnell. The secretary will record the vote.
Trustee Dillard,
Aye.
trustee Gosnell,
Aye.
trustee Grover,
Aye.
trustee Morris,
Aye.
trustee Pierce,
Aye.
trustee Tuttle,
Aye.
vice chairman Webb,
Aye.
chairman Tomlinson.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all. Thank you, Becca. Thank you, Shane.